Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
the biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world. The SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation is the dream in the house. Today is Friday. It is the second to third round of the conference tourneys. We're here. We're excited. We got a lot of stuff going on. The NFL's popping. Hat, what's going on, player?
Dream, Brock Osweiler's going to the Cleveland Browns. That's a winning pedigree, isn't it?
Oh, you had to go there. I was going to try to save it. I didn't want to get into that quite right out the gate. But since you went there, let's go there.
I mean, is that just a bad dream if you're a Cleveland fan?
Well, see, here's the thing. The Cleveland Browns, the way Cleveland is trying to get their fan base to look at it is they picked up a second-round quarterback for $16 million. All right? And people think that that's cool. And then they got all these draft picks. And then they got draft picks in 2018, okay? So now, if you're the New England Patriots, this trade is dope, okay? Because you've got a past of winning. You've got success all over your history. You've had great success with picking up players. You've done great things in the drafts. You've done great things all around, okay? When you're the Cleveland Browns, it's stupid because you have a lineage of awful business decisions as far as running your organizations. And now you're going to try to dazzle the rest of the NFL by picking up Brock Osweiler, which everybody in the NFL knows Brock Osweiler is an awful quarterback.
Yeah, one of the worst. I thought he was the worst.
My thing with the Browns is, yeah, I get that you got draft picks, and I understand that. And the rest of the NFL world and all the analysts, everybody's going to be like, well, this is awesome be happy for Cleveland, buy into this, they're going to be dope in 3 years. Like, do you really have confidence, okay? Do you really have confidence that Cleveland's going to be dope in 3 years?
No, not at all. Dude, I don't know. I mean, anybody that's got a Cleveland Browns jersey on, I mean, you must be really going through some hell right now with this organization. But you know what? We've all done it. You know what? If you're a true fan, don't jump on the bandwagon and go to another team. Just stay with it. Let it ride its course.
If you are a Cleveland Brown fan, you have permission. Nobody will question you on any other team's bandwagon. You don't have to explain not a word. All you have to say is, I used to be a Browns fan, and people will give you a cup of coffee and say, welcome to the party, have a seat, and have a good time.
Well, you're still a Niners fan, Dream.
I am still not. Son, I have a lineage of Super Bowls in my pocket, so why would I not be a Niners fan?
Yeah, that makes sense. I understand where you're going with that.
Niners had phenomenal success over the years.
Right, exactly. Good morning to everybody. Happy Friday to you. We are the SBTV Nation. We are getting ready to rock as far as college basketball is concerned. Dream, not the best day for me yesterday. I had a really bad loss with Iowa. I hate to even open the show like that, but you know what? It is what it is, guys. I don't run away from it at all. Iowa goes up 1 point. I'm like, perfect. 48-47. You know, because they were down, like, they were flirting with, like, being down 5, 6, 4, whatever. I popped the game on. It's 48-47 Iowa. So the minute I turn the game on, 15-4 run by Indiana. Forget it. Dead after that. And then just got murdered after that.
Well, yesterday I watched Iowa, and I did comment to you about Iowa.
Yeah.
The defense is just terrible.
Yeah, we talked about it. The between the transition defense and just guarding people. I mean, wide open looks, wide open dunks, no defense whatsoever. It was almost like they were afraid they were in foul trouble, and it was like early second half. I'm like, what are they doing?
It's unfortunately that they didn't get a shot to play Kansas.
Yeah, right. and you know what? You know what's funny, guys, is that, I did think that Kansas was going to win the game, but then during the day, I was basically, Dream and I were going back and forth. We go back and forth on the text messages, and I was saying, watch a team like Kansas lose today. So we could have that conversation, because he was heckling me about teams taking their foot off the gas in the conference tournaments, and you were heckling me about Villanova. So I said, well, watch something like Roy Williams or Kansas go down. And sure enough, Kansas goes down to T.C. Yuski, kid. Damn.
Kansas lost. You know what? That's why Kansas just does that, though. That's why I've talked about it on this program. Two coaches that I don't have a lot of success for that are highly touted, Bill Self and Roy Williams. You're two of those, when you look at the upper echelons of coaches, they're in the top 8, I guess, or at least top 10. And you look at these guys, they got these great programs, these historic programs, and I've seen both these guys with a plethora of talent, yet inability to win the big game and to win in big spots. And here we go with Kansas once again in a big spot, getting beat by TCU. And, it's funny, but yesterday, a couple of the teams that we have watched this season, play games teeter-tottering, so to say, went down yesterday. And not alarming, but not really all that surprising.
Right on. And Fast Eddie's saying, make Freaky Friday great again, Dream. I love it. And you know what? Fantastic photos, by the way, guys. We love it. Welcome to Friday. And you want to make it freaky, feel free to send us whatever type of beautiful photos for us to take a look at, because we're more than happy to take a peek at what you got on this Friday. Especially, Dream, I need a little something to get me smiling because the snow is on the ground today.
Yeah, it did snow here as well, and this is Connecticut just being annoying.
It is annoying.
Doing what it usually does. We think we should be out of the winter and we should be done with the snow, but yet we're getting hit with a little bit of snow again. So kids are home, so we're getting through it, but we should be out of this. I'm hoping this is the last one. But
no, because Monday and Tuesday we're supposed to get pounded again.
I just said that. They have it on the
sucks
forecast. It does stink. Going over last night's game, Duke beats Louisville, and Louisville and Pitino should really be probably kicking themselves in irate right now about yesterday's game. Louisville had this game. There were a couple of really bad calls by the refs in Duke's favor. And I don't want to hear the Duke thing because I've heard that for years. Duke got no more calls than Louisville. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But there were a couple of bad calls in Duke's favor in this particular game. And Duke was able to overcome. Louisville is not a great three-point shooting team. They settled for a lot of perimeter shots that they shouldn't have settled for. Mm-hmm. They didn't capitalize on getting the ball down low in the post, and they wanted to play field goal game with Duke. And Duke is the better shooting team. And Duke, completely took advantage of that. And I don't really think it was Duke's defense that made Louisville do that. I just think Louisville, I don't know why, they just got shot happy.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't get a chance to watch much of that game, but I could tell you this much, Dream. I have not been a fan of either one of these teams, to be honest with you. I don't like Duke. I don't like Louisville. And I would never...
Louisville,
Go ahead.
I really like Louisville's defense. Louisville plays good defense.
Okay.
They play good defense, and they would not let Duke get in any type of transition at all, which is what I love. Any team that can slow down a transition game, that means that they can withstand the barrage of runs that teams go on. So that's one thing that I will give Louisville. They play good defense. The problem with Louisville is their shooting can be, son, they could be Virginia-ish.
Virginia-ish. Yeah, I was just about to say a little touch of Virginia, touch of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Their shooting can be abysmal at times. That's the only issue that I have with Louisville. North Carolina beats up on Miami. North Carolina, this game started out a little bit tough. Miami's a good team, though, and it hit me up about it, talking about Roy Williams might be on the floor. And I said, yeah, on the floor from beating Miami to 10. As they went 78-53. Once North Carolina stopped playing around and got the ball moving in transition, as I talked about on yesterday's program, it all came to fruition. Florida State knocks off Virginia Tech. I told you about that yesterday.
You know what? Va-Tech I thought they had a really good shot of winning that game. And you know what? I mean, if you took them plus the 8, you were laughing. You did good. You won. But I think Va-Tech is not a bad team, Dream. I really don't think they're...
not a bad team at all. I agree with you. But this Florida State team is pretty good. They're another team that's pretty athletic. They remind me of North Carolina, just not as polished. Moving forward, they are going to be, they're a formidable team. I just don't think they're going to go that far, though. Like I said, they're not as polished. They have lapses in their defense as well when there's time when you want to pull your hair out with them. But, Florida State beats Va-Tech yesterday. Pat, another one that I called and I told you, Xavier beats Butler.
I don't know what happened to Butler, man. I'm still going to take them as a future. I'm actually kind of happy that they're losing now because it increases the odds. You know,
I've seen Butler do that throughout the season. I caught some bad losses with them this season. They just don't know how to. Butler's so dysfunctional. I just can't get down with them. So, good luck with you taking them in the field. I wouldn't take Butler. I would not take
What
Butler.
Team is not dysfunctional? To be honest with you, North Carolina and Villanova.
And UCLA.
And UCLA. Odds-on favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, UCLA. Speaking of that, in the pack, Dream, UCLA, USC played them pretty tough.
Sizzle's good. Sizzle's a good team. I mean, they're a good team. Don't make no mistake about that. And they did play them tough. I mean, these teams, obviously, I've been telling you that Pac-12 is better than a lot of people giving them credit for. But you're hearing it on this program because I'm giving it a lot of credit. But yeah, USC is a tough team. They were not afraid of UCLA. UCLA still was able to get some things done execution-wise. Just they didn't look on the top of their game yesterday, if you ask me. I didn't catch the whole thing. I did catch the first half last night, and they just looked a little bit sluggish.
Oregon covers the spread, wins by 23 points, and it was a little bit of a struggle. Arizona State was shooting a lot of buckets in the beginning of the game, and Oregon just made their second half adjustments and went crazy and won the second half by 20 points. A lot of people are high on this Oregon team, Dream. They think that this is the team.
I know, and I'm not. Like, I think Oregon, to me, they're the third best team in the pack. I think it's UCLA, I think it's Arizona, and then I think it's Oregon. But there's a lot, you're right, there's a lot of people who are high on this Oregon team. I think that does have to do, though, with Arizona's unathleticism with their big men down low. So a lot of people kind of discredit Arizona because those guys are a little bit on the clumsy side. But to me, Arizona and UCLA and Arizona are the two best teams on the pack. And then I give Oregon the nod at the third spot.
Guys, real quick before we get into the next game of yesterday, I'm going to tell you right now, if you could get it, Princeton minus 120 to win the Ivy, book it, because that is a really, really good bet. I thought it would be minus 200. It's only minus 120 right now where I'm looking.
Great game yesterday, and we talked about it on this show. Notre Dame beats Virginia.
Yes. I talked about it, man. You know what? I thought that Notre Dame had a really good shot, and they were getting points. They were an underdog in this game. I just thought they had a better chance of winning, and sure enough, Dream, I mean, they won handily. They won by 13 points, kid. Nice. Won
by 13 points. Great job by Notre Dame beating that Virginia team. Virginia just that offense, man. I feel really bad for them. If they could ever find some offense, they'd have probably a really good team. But that offense is just an issue. Elsewhere, we had Arizona beat Colorado, and West Virginia takes down Texas. I love West Virginia yesterday to beat Texas. Pat, I do want to just say this. I turned on the game. I had seen some of West Virginia this season, and I've seen a little bit. Dude, Hugs is like 400 pounds. Did you stay up?
Huggy Hugs ready to do a frog splash on somebody, man. He's a big boy. I know.
My God, what happened to dude? He is like 400 pounds. You're talking about eating the naked chalupas.
Damn. I know. He's got
For days, we gotta shut him down. But West Virginia beats Texas in impressive fashion. Shaka Smart goes down. The havoc did not work on the press.
No.
So
not at all, brother. All right. Rest of it here. Big 12, Iowa State moves forward. They beat Oklahoma State. That's a pretty impressive victory for the Cyclones, Dream.
Not a bad victory for the Cyclones as far as Iowa State's concerned. I liked Oklahoma State in certain spots this season, but I didn't love them, so I'm not really shocked there. Another call by yours truly, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, good call there.
Vanderbilt wins yesterday, and they got their thing done. I'm telling you, this Vanderbilt team, you got to watch out for this Vanderbilt team. This team is really, really a good team. I like what they're able to show me. If they had a little bit more polish, maybe a dynamic scorer, I'd be ready to go all in on them. But Vanderbilt gets it done yesterday. I like what they did, love what they showed me, and we got to keep an eye on them moving forward because this team's a problem.
What about Michigan? That was another nice call. Michigan wins by 20.
Yeah, yesterday I did really well with the exception of the one hiccup that I had was Baylor. Outside of Baylor, I did really well with the NCAA. The NBA was awful and hockey was awful, but the NCAA was great.
Son, I'm still like in shock over Iowa, to be honest with you. Seton Hall, I called them as an underdog to win. They won the game. They beat Marquette. Pretty good victory for them, and I believe they should throw Seton Hall in the tournament now with 21 wins.
What a stomachache game that was for Seton Hall. Those Seton Hall backers as Marquette came out, and Marquette looked strong. Marquette looked like a problem at the beginning of the game. Seton Hall settled in, did not lose their poise, and went on to win the game. And they did it. As far as I'm concerned, I was impressed because I thought Seton Hall was going to break down and lose it. The defense did not look good yesterday, but they maintained their poise and was able to get through that game. Good job by them. Also, a nice call by you. I think both of us talked about Northwestern beating Rutgers.
Oh, yeah.
Smackdown on Rutgers, 83-61.
That saved my day, to be honest with you. I ended up, I had one of the lowest amount of win total possible yesterday. I made $1.60 yesterday after all the gambling. But hey, Dream, it's in the plus, you know?
It's in the plus and better than a loss.
Gets me a bottle of water at the gym. So Michigan State goes bananas and beats Penn State. We talked about Michigan State being victorious in that game.
Did great call on the Michigan State call, and just watch out for Michigan State. You know, it's Izzo's time of the year doing his thing, so keep an eye on that. But good call by you.
Well, you know what? Good news for Michigan State is they won yesterday. Bad news for them, they got to face Minnesota today. So that's something to take a look at, guys. Going through the rest of it here, just seeing games.
Which I loved it. Michigan State is, by the way, a favorite.
Yeah, right. Line movement, Dream.
Line movement.
Better watch out.
Hope nobody fell for the line movement in the Villanova game yesterday. Doing that sharp thing.
Yeah, right. It goes from 20 to 14, so they're like, something's wrong here.
Something's wrong. I gotta
go take the Johnnies plus the 14 because the Sharps are on the Johnnies.
I up at the half and said, based on his theory, I said, you should be all set to take the Johnnies for the second half. The Villanova wanted to take a 17-point lead and take it into the 30 range.
Well, I said on the show, they're good at that. They're good at covering spreads.
Yeah, Villanova went ham yesterday. You know what? I think it's a testament to the coaching staff as well, and also to their discipline. And the thing you got to worry about, okay, so now let's talk about this about basketball too. You know, basketball is the one sport that if you get one guy or one player that's really in the zone, you know, he can take over a whole game. I mean, we've seen it, obviously, Kemba Walker, Lateen Cleaves. Yeah, we could go on for days about certain guys, especially in the NCAA tournament and NCAA, that you get one guy that's just on fire. They just keep giving him the ball. Everybody stands around and watches. So, that being said, in those situations, that's another thing you got to watch out when you're chasing those double-digit dogs. Mm-hmm. Is if the favorite, you know, if you get one guy that's just killing it and they just let him go ham. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the final of what, you know, it was a winning day yesterday if you were taking double-digit underdogs. 4-3 on the day. Actually, no, I'm sorry, because UCLA didn't cover either. So 5-3. Let me just look.
UCLA wasn't given. They weren't given.
UCLA was given 10.5, brother.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Dream, I'm looking right at it. 10.5.
You sure?
Yeah.
I must have been looking at the first half spread then.
Yeah, you were
saw
looking at the first half.
yesterday.
Well, dude, listen, yeah, they did not cover. So yesterday, if you took double-digit underdogs, that's 10 points or more, you were 6-0 the night before. You were 5-3 last night. That puts you at 11-3 in 2 days, Dream. Something to put in your pipe and smoke it, guys, because that is something that's coming to form, especially in college basketball. Moving on here to the rest of it, don't really see anything else of note to break down and talk about. Ole Miss, not a bad team, 20 wins on the year, trying to solidify their stamp to the big dance. They win over Missouri. Missouri's awful. They won 8 games this year, so they won't even be in the NIT. And one more spot, Dream. We said UConn had no business giving 14.5 points, and sure enough, they won by 11.
And looked terrible.
I don't know how they won by 11 because
I don't either.
At the 3-minute mark, they were up 2.
Yeah, and by the way, they looked terrible. I saw some of that game and was like, you know what, this team, I don't know what happened.
Oh, crazy, man. Crazy. So, all right, so what do you want to get into next, my man? Because we got a full day of games.
Games are kicking off at 12 o'clock. It's 9:25, so we'll just get into some of the card as far as the early stuff is concerned. And welcome to the show, Mr. Purdue Boilermakers today, as they get to face off against Michigan. We're going to start right out with the Big Ten hat. Hey,
All right.
You know where I'm at with Purdue.
I know you love this Purdue team, man. I can't see it yet, Dream.
You know where I'm at with Purdue. Caleb Swanigan. They also got the big man down low as well. This team is, listen, they've got to be focused, and I know that they're going to be focused on this tournament and the Big East, and the NCAA tournament. I know that this team is definitely going to be focused. They got beat last year in the beginning. They've got to be telling themselves that over and over and over again. They start off today by punching Michigan in the face.
Yeah.
I love Purdue -3.
You're going to take Purdue minus the points.
I am.
All right. I could see it, Dream, but you know what? You know how they've been faring in the tournament the last couple of years here. But I almost want to jump on it with you, but I am not going to do it. Because I got to wait.
Most of my plays had a lot of success yesterday, and yours didn't. I'm appreciating the fact that you don't want to jump on it.
Well, thank you very much for jumping on Iowa and screwing me yesterday. So that's always, please stay off my squads. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just not even talk about my squads.
I did.
But
I
I'll talk about it with the nation if you guys want to DM me on privately. But I don't want to discuss my squads with my co-hosts anymore because once they jump on, I lose.
Yesterday.
You didn't play it, huh?
No, I didn't touch Iowa.
I thought you said you were going to get some.
No, I thought I was going to get it, and then I said, you know what, Hats does.
That's because you were busy protesting the Don yesterday, Dream. All right. So anyway, moving on here. Let's have a conversation about SMU is hosting East Carolina. That spread should be thick as Freaky Friday, Dream.
East Carolina, I've seen a little bit of them play, not all that impressed. SMU definitely the class of the American. You know, they've only got SMU and Cincinnati coming out of that American, and they're kind of snubbing Houston. You know, with a couple of teams that lost yesterday, if Houston fares a little bit better than I think that they're going to fare in their conference, they may have an opportunity.
Well, right now he's got Kansas State. This is Lenardi's bracketology. He's got Kansas State in now with the win over Baylor, which I could see that.
Okay.
He's got Wake Forest in, which I can understand. He's got Iowa out, which sucks for me because I have a future on him. And he has Syracuse in, Dream.
Oh, dude.
You're gonna see Michigan, Syracuse, Michigan State, no matter what happens.
Does he have Houston in?
I don't believe so.
I think Houston should get in over Cuse, I'll be honest with you. I
Okay.
really do.
All right, well, yeah, but you know what? Do you look at the strength of schedule and
I
obviously,
know,
being
I
in
know.
that conference?
It's bad
is what it
snub,
is.
though.
I know, it is a bad snub. I agree with you, 100%. But we'll see, man. That'll be your team for the NI Tizzle. Moving on here, let's talk about the SEC at 1 o'clock. You got Georgia playing number 8 Kentucky. Kentucky 26-5 on the year. Kentucky and Killer Cal are given 10 points.
And Kentucky hates to cover a double-digit spread.
I agree.
They hate to cover a double-digit spread, so it would behoove you to throw this in a teaser. I don't think that Georgia beats Kentucky. I like Kentucky to win here. Obviously, Kentucky's going to be poised to get their momentum going as well in their first outing. Calipari should have these guys coached up well to get off to a great start. I expect Malik Monk to have success penetrating this Georgia defense a little bit, maybe kicking it out to the sides, getting a couple of free shots and a couple of free looks. Kentucky to me has too much depth, too much talent, better coached, all around just a better team. Georgia, glad you made it to the party, but you're going to have to go sit down relatively soon because I got Kentucky winning. I am not taking Kentucky minus 10, though. I will put 8 on it and have Kentucky minus 2.
You love those 8-point teasers, don't you?
8.3 team teas are my favorite.
All right. Big Ten matchup, 2 o'clock. I'm going to have to cut out of work early today, brother.
Okay.
Michigan State versus Minnesota. Dream. Yep. Minnesota is a way better team than Michigan State.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you that right now. You know what? It's not the big dance yet, but I really feel like Minnesota has something to prove here. I love Minnesota today. Guys, listen, don't take what I'm taking. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm leaving you with that because I just can't go against Izzo right now, and his team's got a little bit of momentum, and they're playing as predicted.
They're playing well.
They were underachieving for most of the season, and I think all of a sudden they're starting to play like they were supposed to play. And this is that time of the year that he manages to find a way to get his guys to act right. This Minnesota team, I mean, I've seen them. They're good. I'll give it to you. They're a good team. Mason does a great job at the guard spot. I can't do it. I can't take Minnesota. I'm just gonna stay away from this particular matchup.
Minnesota is 23-8 on the year, 11-7 in Big Ten conference play. So putting that whole resume together for the body of work throughout the whole year, there's no way, win or lose, that they're out of the tournament. Minnesota will be in the tournament as far as I'm concerned. I don't see how you could leave them out, Dream. Great body of work this year. But Minnesota, I believe Minnesota wins the game. I love the fact that they're an underdog. That is so awesome, to be honest with you. So I think what I'm going to do is I will take them today, and whatever I win today, I will plug that money into the future on them. Because right now, 125 to 1 shot they are, which I think is a pretty good one. So moving on here, Dream, let's just stay right in, unless you have anything else before the other Big Ten matchup, which pits Indiana versus Wisconsin.
I don't have anything else other than, let's look.
Little VCU?
No, I'm not getting. I don't like that matchup. George Mason's been kind of tough this season, and VCU's a lot like Butler.
Yeah, very good point. All right.
VCU is a lot like Butler. So VCU, I'm not going there. I'm not gonna ruin my day at 6:00 with a VCU play and be mad at the bar.
Mad at the bar, pissed off at the world.
About to chase Wisconsin money.
Well, you know what? Let's just stay in the Big Ten and talk about Wisconsin, as they are given 5.5 to Indiana. And
now, what do you make of this Indiana team now after the way that they handled their business?
Well, the problem with it is that Iowa played zero defense. I mean, completely zero. It was almost like they weren't even there sometimes. It was like they were just not even putting their hands up for layups and stuff. I just could not believe what Iowa was doing yesterday. So, and that's a really poor performance when you're on the bubble to get into the NCAA tournament, especially the way you've been playing. I mean, this team is good. I don't get it. But anyway, Indiana, I think Wisconsin has a better grasp on the what's the word I'm looking for? The experience factor. Indiana was there last year. They had Yogi Ferrell, though, going bananas. They don't have that prolific scorer like he was last year. But for some reason, I won't bet this game. There's no way I'm going to bet the game. I lean Wisconsin. Don't love the game at all, Dream.
Yeah, I don't like the game either, and I haven't liked what I've seen out of Wisconsin all season. Wisconsin does have the capabilities, and they can beat this Indiana team and beat them convincingly. I just don't trust them. They've been too up and down for me this season and too inconsistent, so I'm going to leave it alone.
When you look at their body of work over the last couple of games, I mean, I believe it was like 4 losses in a row Wisconsin did. Now, here's the thing that's going to happen here. You got a pretty damn good defensive team in Wisconsin, or number 10 in the nation. So if they can just kind of get Indiana out of their groove, out of running the ball, and just kind of, get back quickly on defense after easy buckets or threes and stuff like that, Wisconsin should have a really good opportunity to win this game. And maybe Indiana's a little tired after the beatdown, putting up 100 points or whatever they put up yesterday, Dream. So Wisconsin's probably the play here. I'm just not going to take it.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Moving on here. Seton Hall versus Villanova, the rematch of last year's Big East Championship final. Dream.
Yeah.
I think the bridge is over for Seton Hall.
I
think Villanova got that game on their brain. Even though they won the title last year, they still got to remember this one.
Sure.
Jay Wright and the boys ain't going to. Jay Wright and the boys are not having it.
Dead right. Do you have a spread on this game?
I'm looking it up right now. It is not on this page, but let me just see if I can find it on another page. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. We're looking for the lines.
Well, I don't have one either on this game as of yet. I don't know what's up with the line. I don't know what's
they're trying to see who, if anybody got injured last night, if anybody got caught out being in trouble, if any, some of the kids are in Las Vegas right now. There's a lot of intangibles, Dream.
Intangibles. I like that. Anyway, I like Villanova to win this game. I don't know what the spread is going to be. Villanova, revenge factor spot. Some may think it's not as serious as others may think. Like Kat said, they did end up winning an NCAA tournament last year, so it's not like it's really stinging them that Seton Hall beat them. But Villanova, what they do and the way they play basketball should be very problematic for Seton Hall. I don't see Seton Hall having a lot of success against their defense. I don't see Seton Hall defensively having success against Villanova's offense. I believe Josh Hart, he'll get a lot of high ball screens rolling, maybe a little pick and roll down in the post. They'll be able to get that going. Villanova's going to beat. They got a lot of ways to beat you. Seton Hall, though, is a tough team. Don't get me wrong. It'll be somewhat competitive for a minute. But I think once Villanova gets that lead, in this case, they won't let up because of last year and what happened last year. And I got Villanova winning this game.
Villanova is minus 11.
Minus 11, yeah. Throw that in the 8 as well. Throw the 8 on that, get it minus 3, and it should be all set.
The last time they played each other was last month on the 18th of February. Villanova went into Seton Hall and won by 22 points, Dream.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a beatdown in Seton Hall.
Yeah, because the way Villanova plays, it really is very problematic, I think, for Seton Hall. And I think that Villanova's also on both ends of the ball, offensively and defensively, shows a lot of problems for Seton Hall as far as Seton Hall trying to execute their offense against Villanova's defense and then trying to execute their defense against Villanova's offense is tough. I don't think Seton Hall is great at covering ball screens. I don't like their rotation as far as the defense and guys picking up the open player and guys coming off of the screen. So Villanova should be able to do everything that they want to do in this particular matchup. I would not be surprised if Villanova won by double digits, but I would rather just have them in the tees, throw 8 on the 11 and get it down to 3.
I got a great idea for us tonight. Why don't we go out and head up to Hartford and watch a couple of beatdowns and put money on it? Why don't we go watch 7 o'clock Cincinnati start right out the gate and beat up on Tulsa. Then right after that, we could watch UConn lose and fail miserably to Houston.
That we could do. And that it is absolutely you
got
on point with that. The only thing I am going to say, don't discount Tulsa. It's not going to be a smoke show for Cincinnati. Now, what Cincinnati does is Cincinnati wants to get you in it. Cincinnati plays a very ugly game, reminiscent of the Grizzlies. They beat you with their defense. They get you in these situations where, you don't know what's going on. They're kind of like the Grizzlies and the Raptors wrapped into one team, if you could imagine that ugliness. But this Tulsa team is pretty good. I definitely think that Cincinnati's the better of the two teams. Cincinnati should definitely win this game, but it's going to be a little bit competitive. Now, on the other side,
I disagree.
The UConn game should not be competitive.
I disagree. I think Cincinnati rolls today, to be honest with you.
Tulsa's good.
They're a sub 500 team, kid. They're 15 and 16 on
I've
here.
seen them. They're a sub 500 team, but Tulsa's pretty good.
13.5. It's now 14 points. Cincinnati's favored. 2 touchdowns, baby. Double-digit underdog is Tulsa. And the next game is that nasty 4 points as Houston is given 4 to UConn. UConn's going to have UConn's going to have home court advantage tonight, Dream.
Yeah.
Right in Hartford. How'd they score that? They always manage to get that. Even like the year that they won the national title where I had them, they played in MSG and it was like a home game, bro. It was nuts.
You know, UConn, it doesn't matter where they play this game, no. They could play it at Calhoun's house. They're getting beat.
They're getting beat. So if we put that in a money line parlay, Cincinnati and Houston were probably minus 130. So every $100 you want to make, you got to lay 130. I'm okay with that.
I'm not bad with that either. I just don't. I'm not getting. Well, money line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's
So
good.
you put $130 on it. You make $100, pays for your whole night out.
It's good. I don't love it, but he's right. It's going to win. I mean, I think there's better. I don't really want to get involved in it because I think there's better spots.
Oh, well, how about 7 o'clock? You got Vanderbilt, your team, playing Florida. You want to talk about a stomach ache? Woo.
Yeah, that's a stomachache game. That's not a good spot. No,
That's
you're not betting
not
that
a
game.
good
That's a tough game right there. Even though I do lean a little bit towards Vandy, especially for as far as the dog is concerned. And you guys know I don't really like dogs, but I do like Vanderbilt in this spot. Just not betting it. I mean, I want that. You know me. I don't want to listen. I'm not trying to stomachache Friday night. I want that easy play. And even though you put your plays in and think they're going to be easy, you know there's going to always be that one game that's still stomachache.
Right on.
No
Looking
matter
at it
how
here,
easy it is.
Florida's given 6.5, bro.
Florida's given 6.5. I don't know why. I think it should be more like 4.
I think so, too.
I think Florida wins, though.
Okay.
I do
ACC?
think Florida wins.
ACC to rematch. Third time they're playing this year. The Dukies are facing North Carolina. North Carolina minus 3.5.
Yep, and I'm taking North Carolina. I
Yeah.
like North Carolina. I like North Carolina minus 3.5. I think they beat Duke by 6 to 10 points.
I could see that.
6 to 10 points. They beat them again convincingly, and they continue to roll. This North Carolina team, I talked about them. Terrence Mack's been talking about them. The rest of the media is talking about them. They're a clear-cut favorite to win the NCAA tournament. They will be my winner in one of my brackets, and along with, like I said, UCLA, and then a couple others will try out some stuff. But I love this North Carolina team. I just need Roy Williams to let them run.
Guys, if just a note here, if you do not have conference tournament odds and you like a team, what you can do is you could do an open parlay. So let's say they have 3 games left to be victorious in their conference tournament. What you could do is basically put them in and leave 2 spots open and just keep sliding them in as the games materialize. So that's something to take a look at. But I'm all over Princeton for the Ivy. Let's see. The Big 12, Dream. The Cyclones are facing TCU. Iowa State, TCU. I don't have a line here yet. I'm trying to find it on another screen. But actually, Iowa State minus 4.
Joseph Del Rosario is all over Iowa State, saying he likes Iowa State on the money line. I don't like this game.
I don't either.
TCU's coming in with a bit of momentum. Iowa State, I know it's been tough most of the season. Just don't like this game. I'm going to stay away from this game. I don't like the feel of this game at all. It's not one of my favorites, so I'm just going to stay away from it. It looks stomach-achish to me.
Stomach-achish. I agree with you 100%. Moving on here, Dream. Let's go back to the Big Ten. Let's talk Northwestern Maryland today. That's
just like the Iowa State game.
Oh, that's a brutal game, huh? I think Northwestern's the better team in my opinion. I really think so. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that. Now you got the element of Northwestern playing last night and Maryland having off, so that's the thing. You got the rest factor, but I see Northwestern. I like this team a lot. Did you get a chance to catch them yesterday? I know it was Rutgers, but I mean their alley-oops are solid, their chemistry is solid. It just seems like they play very, very good team basketball, bro. They went on a massive run in that game too.
That being said, I like Maryland.
You like really?
I like Maryland.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck to you on that.
I mean, they got the dynamic guard. College basketball, we know about guards in college basketball,
He sucks
especially
lately,
this time
though.
of the year. Say it again.
He sucks lately, though.
He has, but this is the time to shine.
Got it. Okay.
I'm not gonna go against a guard like Trimble in this position, in this spot tonight. 8:55 against a Northwestern team that I'm not really sure got really battle tested by Rutgers, so they're feeling themselves a little bit, like you said. And then Maryland's a whole different animal. I don't like Northwestern in this spot. I'm sorry.
You got Ole Miss. I actually took Ole Miss yesterday, guys. I parlayed them with Northwestern and saved my day. But they're facing Arkansas right now. Arkansas is not a bad team, 23-8 on the year. SEC men's tournament quarterfinal. There's no line posted as of yet with Ole Miss. But let me check one more screen to see if I can find it. But what do you think of this one?
Nope, I don't like it.
Nothing. I don't blame you. California playing number 5 Oregon. Do we have an upset in the making here?
We do not. Oregon beats California up.
Yeah.
Cal, nice little run that they made right now. And they definitely are feeling themselves as they should be. So is apropos. I got Oregon beating the brakes off of Cal. Oregon beats Cal handily tonight.
All right. And the odds-on favorite to win the Big 12 is Huggy Hugs and Javon Carter and the Press of West Virginia hosting Kansas State. Kansas State coming off their big win last night over Baylor. I think Press Virginia rolls here.
Press Virginia rolls again. I like West Virginia. They'll be added to the tees as well. West Virginia is a big spot for me tonight. I like them, along with Oregon. So those are another 2 teams we're going to add to that. West Virginia, when they want to play, they can really play. This Kansas State team hasn't been that impressive this season in big spots. I don't expect them to fare well against West Virginia. As far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't have beat Baylor yesterday, but they did. A nice job by them beating Baylor, but the buck stops here as West Virginia beats Kansas State tonight.
Really good game here in the ACC. Notre Dame versus Florida State. Very, very similar teams here. Florida State's -1.5. I think Notre Dame goes on a run, though. I just don't like Florida State, Dream.
I know you don't, but I do. Florida State, very athletic team. I like what they've shown me. They've got some length. They've got some depth. They've got a lot of pieces to the puzzle. Notre Dame will drive you crazy with your perimeter shooting when it's not falling.
I understand. Got
Will
it.
drive you crazy with the perimeter shooting when it's not falling. So I'm leaning Florida State here, not getting involved in this game because it looks to be stomach achish as well. But I am leaning Florida State very, very lightly.
All right, so a warm-up game to get trounced by Villanova. You got Xavier versus Creighton. Big East Men's Championship semifinal in MSG tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Creighton versus Xavier. Both of these teams super similar, Dream.
Super similar. It's the attack of the guards. The guard play will come at you. And if Creighton shots falling, it could work. If Xavier gets dribble penetration, it could work. I can't figure it out, so leave it alone.
UCLA versus Arizona tonight, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Great game to watch at the bar because you got a couple of hours, so this will take you right till closing time if you're here in Connecticut with a 2 a.m. bar time closing. Dream, what's your thoughts here, man? I mean, this is a neutral site now. UCLA went into Arizona and won a couple of weeks ago.
I know, and I expect UCLA to unveil the zone right out of the gate.
Yeah, right? Because they were very successful with that in the second half.
I expect UCLA to unveil that zone right on Arizona, and Arizona did not fare well against it. Arizona has a chip on their shoulder. It's a revenge factor for them. They're going to be a little bit upset with UCLA and one. I don't know if that motivation helps or hurts them, because I don't want them to force. If you have Arizona trying to force things, it's not going to be successful. It's going to be a great game, guys. I'm not going to pick a side here because it's going to be a good game. And we got enough spots that we've already got as far as gambling is concerned. This is a great game to watch because there's no clear cut. You have a spread?
I do not yet.
I do not either. I'm going to go UCLA.
Again, huh? Just because of the zone?
Just because of the zone, and because I told you before, I think UCLA is the more polished team, and they play a little bit, they execute a little bit better than Arizona does. So I'm going to go UCLA, but it's not by a lot, and it's going to be a very good game, and I'm not betting it, but I am going to lean UCLA.
I got one book here that has Princeton minus 175. Damn. I am not putting it in over there, that's for sure. No way. I'm paying 120, not 175. It's crazy. I mean, I would still take it if that was the best going, but what a difference in lines. But that's going to do it, Dream, as far as collegiate basketball. I think we went through everything, all the games that we feel are of importance. I mean, they're all important because, you know what? The winner of all these tournaments is going to get into the big dance, and anything could happen, especially this year. If there was, Dream, I mean, I haven't seen a year where it's been this wide open in the last 3 years. I mean, realistically,
it's always wide open.
No, but there were some clear-cut favorites. Like Kansas last year was a big favorite to win. The year before was Kentucky. Remember they had that monster team that was fantastic? And then the year before that, when UConn won, Florida was the big favorite. There's no favorite here. None at all. Big favorite. Kansas just went down. Who's your favorite now? UCLA, North Carolina? But they're
Kansas,
still.
But you know how we feel about Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas is going to go win the tournament now. Watch.
No, they're not.
That's how they do it.
No, they're not.
All right. So, anything else as far as college basketball? Or are you ready to jump right into everything else?
I just think as far as the NCAA tournament had, with the exception, I want to say, 3 years ago with Kentucky, that was the only year that we had a clear cut. It looked like Kentucky was going to win the whole thing. When they started out, they were undefeated.
Yeah,
they went. You know what I mean? That was to me, that's the only year that it wasn't up in the air. As far as I was concerned, last year was up in the air.
Yeah, but Kansas was at the top most of the year as far as being the favorite until they got knocked off by Villanova.
But I hated Kansas. You know me, I never liked Kansas last year.
Yeah, I liked them last year.
I tell you, I don't trust. I never liked Bill Self. I don't like the way he coaches his teams. So as far as this year is concerned, I know you think it's wide open, but I got to be honest with you. Villanova, North Carolina, and UCLA.
Villanova. I think
not a lot of teams beating them.
Dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big advocate of defense, especially if you have some decent point guards. Villanova, and you're going to absolutely hate who else I like.
Let me hear this.
I like the Zags, man.
Yeah, I do absolutely.
I like the Zags. I think they're a very, very sound team.
All right.
I really do. So, all right. So anyway, moving on here. Let's have a conversation about the NBA real quick. Let's see if we can find any spots there. I mean, Dream, there's 100 games in collegiate hoops, so it's like...
I know. And guys, you know what? The homework just is lacking. I don't want to give out any NBA. I don't think we're going to give out. Well, I'm not. If you want to give out some, go ahead. I'm going to stay away from it. Because I'm not really interested. I'm interested in the other stuff, but I'm vested in this college basketball right now. I think there's been enough given out as far as college basketball is concerned. Yesterday I wanted to kind of be cute and get involved with Cleveland, which blew up in my face.
That's all right.
What's up with that team?
That's fine. I'm enjoying that they're losing. It's great because then we pound them the next time they play. I got one spot here. I think the Golden State Warriors only giving 5 points to Minnesota is a great spot. There might be a reason for that, guys. Obviously, K Dizzle's out of the lineup, but I mean, when you look at the rest of it here, Draymond Green. Let's see. Draymond Green should be in there, even though he's got a sore ankle. Got to take Golden State on the money line tonight. Got to do it.
Yeah.
Got to absolutely do it, guys. That's where I'm at. The rest of it, I don't see anything. Dream, do you dare go to the ice tonight?
Wait, hold on. What? Ice that has been incredible to me, with the exception of last night. The ice has been absolutely stellar to me and keeping me afloat through my ups and downs. I'm not going to go to the ice tonight because the only spot on the ice. Actually, I am going to the ice. Minnesota Wild are playing the Panthers. Minnesota Wild lost last night.
Lost 2 in a row.
Kind of got embarrassed. Got beat by the Lightning. Playing the Panthers. I like the Minnesota Wild.
As an underdog.
I like the Minnesota Wild, yeah.
Oh, good for you, man. Oof.
Yep.
Well, good luck with
Minnesota Wild's good. The problem is the Panthers are a little bit physical. Minnesota likes that finesse, but Minnesota's fast, man. That's a fast team. They got precision passing. I really like the way I like their power plays and their power play kills as well. Minnesota, I like Minnesota to beat the Panthers. They're on a 2-game losing streak. I think they come back and beat the Panthers tonight. I like Minnesota.
All right, sounds good, Dream. So that's pretty much going to do it for us.
I love Minnesota, actually. And they're a dog, too, huh?
Yeah, they're a dog.
Great spot, guys. I think it's a great spot. Get involved with the Wild. I like the Wild tonight.
All right. So that's going to do it for us, Dream, on this Friday morning. And I'm looking forward to a whole day of basketball.
Whole day of basketball starts out at 12 o'clock, guys, and it just keeps on rolling all the way into tonight as UCLA and Arizona kick off at 11:30. So you're going to have a great game all the way to the end of the night. And then we're back again tomorrow to do it again. We'll have Dr. Dan in the house to join us and just get back into this college basketball thing. I like the college basketball the most, though. We talked about the play. I think we gave out a ton of plays already. So I don't think there's any real mystery where we're at. Guys, I'm all over Purdue. Okay? Purdue's a favorite of mine. I'm going to get Kentucky involved in the teaser. Let's see. Hold on. I'm looking at the rest of it. I'm definitely all over Villanova. I'm all over North Carolina. And I'm all over Oregon.
All right.
That's where I'm at. And West Virginia.
West Virginia. Got it. All right, so I'm still waiting for some lines to pop up on certain books here, but where I'm going to most likely go is Minnesota, Cincinnati, Houston. That's where I'm at, Dream. That is going to pay very, very good money. Probably like 350 to 1. Or 350 to plus 350. For every 100, you'll make 350 on that. Let me just double-check the odds while you're doing your closeout, but I'm almost positive that that's where it's going to be, considering the fact that Minnesota is an underdog this evening, or this afternoon, rather.
And, gang, I like the 3-team, 8-point teases. On the big spreads, we'll probably pair those teams together. I will probably play straight Purdue, but then you're probably going to want to put Villanova, Oregon, and Kentucky in the 3-team, 8-point tees to knock their points down and make that work. I also like North Carolina to beat Duke. That will probably be a side straight bet for me as well. And that's where I'm at. So we're dealing with 5 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I forgot about West Virginia. Sorry. West Virginia also. So we're dealing with 6 teams. Purdue, Villanova, Oregon, North Carolina, Kentucky, and West Virginia. That's where I'm at today.
All right, sounds good, brother.
And I love the Minnesota Wild as far as hockey is concerned. I want to thank Jake Snyder, Terrence Mack. We got Shy Picks out there, Mario Martinez, Spot Bet, Joseph Del Rosario, Deep Picks, Jeff Ryan, JD824, Sin City Maverick, Vegas Girl 92661, Derry Bouchard, JC Bang the Book, Fast Eddie, Jordy Best, TMVU, all retweeted the program. Thank you so much, gang. Sir Mata's in the house as well. No tennis today, Sir Mata. Sorry. We are not interested. Well, I am not interested in tennis. If somebody else is, feel free. Tweet it out, post it, Shy Picks. That's his little thing that he likes to get down with tennis. So he could post tennis plays for you guys if you like.
All right, sounds good, Dream. Well, guys, we love you to death. Go out there, rise and grind, make all your dreams a damn reality, and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.